Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel, and this time I'm back looking at some kind of generic faults on my Peugeot 508. So these faults could be on your car as well. So namely, I'm going to have a look at the bonnet strut that's not working. I'm going to have a look at the keyless entry of the driver's doors not working, and also the eco mode, the stop start on this isn't working either. So stick with the video and hopefully you may get these issues on your car and then know how to fix them. So let's start with each one first, which is the bonnet strut. So on this car, since gearing it, when you lift it up, the strut will just not hold the bonnet up. So I've got a little piece of wood there just to prop it up. Let me stick that in and get back to you. Problem solved. But no, that's not what I want. I want to get this strut working correctly. Well, I've been online and I found a second-hand one off from a breaker's yard, £15. Now these struts are a little bit different to your standard strut, and let me show you why. So these are like a two-stage bonnet strut. So if you press that button in there, you can then make this bonnet open much wider when it'll click in there for like the maintenance aspect, so you're not banging your head on it when you're actually working on the engine. That's pretty good. So let's firstly get the old one off. So all we need to do is release this clip at the top part of it, like so, and that should just pop off. There it is. Now with this having the two-stage part here, so if I press this in here, I can pull it to the next stage, and if I press it in again, then I can pull the whole thing out. So that's the bottom part removed without having to take it off there, because this is going to be the same for the new one. So this is the new one, so just push it in there and let it click, and push it in again and let it click all the way. So now we just need to fit this back on to the catch at the top. I'm hoping that this does just push on, which it does. That's solidly on. So it's a big test now. Can we remove this piece of wood, and will the bonnet stay up? I have every confidence in it. Yes, it has. So now it goes down and holds in position up and goes back up like that. So let me show you the maintenance position. If you press that button in there and lift it up higher, then the bonnet goes up almost straight in the air like so. That's brilliant. Okay, that's this job done, and let's close this up and move on to the next one. So my next job, as I mentioned at the beginning, is the keyless entry. As you can see, this is the driver's door. If I put my hand in, nothing happens, doesn't lock or unlock. Whereas if I go to the passenger rear door, then yes, it unlocks and it locks. But it doesn't work from here. Now I've been looking at these handles, and these handles to me look like they're identical. So what I'm thinking is if I can take this one off here and swap it with this one here, then hopefully get my driver's door working again, which is really the only one I want it to work from. But I'm wondering if this handle will come out and unplug without having to take the full interior out. So let's have a look. It shouldn't be that hard. Oh, I'm not going to do it. So we just need to take off this bung here, and behind that should be Torx bit I would expect. So this is a T30, so we should be able to get that in there and loosen it off. Should now allow the lock to be retrieved. Just get some tools. It does look like to get this out, you need to put a little bit of a pressure to pull it out, because it's got to pop this thing out of some piece of plastic that'll be sat in at the back. So once that's out of the way, the handle should now. Nope, looks like we're going to have to take the door card off. What we need to do now is we need to lift this corner. It looks like somebody's been in here before, I think. Yeah, this is going to come out real easy, isn't it? I'm just going to get something to cut along that so I don't damage it, and we'll get this open and we should be able to get to the plug. So I managed to release this. It's slotted in and it's got a little tag there, so you've got to get the pick under and lift it up of a little bracket that is just under there. And once you've got that off, then the plug has got plenty of slack on it, and now we just need to lift this bit here and separate that. So now that should allow the handle to come out the door. Yes! So now we've just got to repeat the whole process on the back door. So I have the two handles side by side, and I've marked up that one with an F so I know it's for front. And you know what? They do look identical to me. Now I'm looking for any numbers. The only number I can find is there is one just inside there. Not sure if you'll see it, but it says 2.42734. And inside this one, it's got exactly the same number, 2.42734. So I'm pretty sure that these are the same part. So I'm going to install this one back onto the front door and see if that fixes my problem. So here we go now. So this is the rear handle, and we're going to try this on the front of the car to see if it works. I'll do this before I put all of the interior back together, because that'd be quite upsetting if I do that and it doesn't work. So handle just temporarily fitted. Yes. The mirror's not folding in. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, I know why, because the switch gear is disconnected, so I haven't got the signal to fold the mirrors in. Brilliant. Yeah, but that looks great. So look at that. So lock the door, and unlock the door. Yes, fantastic. Right, let's get this all assembled and we can move on to the next job. And that's it, everything reassembled. So these are working nicely now. So we shut the door, we can use that to lock it, mirrors fold in, and unlock, put your hand in, and off she goes. Brilliant. Obviously the rear door doesn't work at all now, but I'm not worried about that. So as long as I've got the driver's door working, that's good for me. So yeah, you can swap these handles over and fix that problem. On to the next problem. This issue we're going to look at is the auto start stop not working. Let me show you what I mean, but for that we're going to take it for a little run. So if you keep your eye down here, there's the eco mode light comes on. So when I stop the car, the engine should stop and it should go into eco mode. But if you watch what happens here, when I stop the car, see, the eco light just flashes, which means that there's a fault with the system. So checking out on the internet, what that means is that the eco failed to operate because it's finding some problem with the system. So I'm going to start with stage 1, which is to disconnect the battery for 15 minutes to reset the system. So let's try that to start with. Also, while I'm in there, I'm going to check that this battery is the correct battery for this car, because it needs to be 70 ampere hour, 760 cold crank amps CCA type battery. So that should have that written on the battery. If it hasn't, then the issue could be that the battery is the wrong battery and we need to change that. Let's go check the battery out. I appear to have a cover missing. I think there's supposed to be a plastic cover over this here that probably fits into there and maybe there. But anyway, we need to, wow, all this is right rickety and loose. But yeah, so we need to remove the positive of the battery. I'm pretty sure that's the positive. Or is that the earth? That's probably the earth. Oh, that just lifts up, look. Aha, there we go. So I'm assuming that's the patch. So now disconnected. So we need to leave that for 15 minutes. So now we need to get this off so we can have a look at the battery and have a look at the markings that are on that battery. So there we go, I've exposed the battery now. This one is actually a 70 amp hour, which is correct, but 720 on the CCA side, which should be 760, but I think that's close enough, is it? Is that enough? I don't know. Okay, well, let's see if this disconnected 15 minutes makes a difference. I'll put all this back together, and then we're almost 15 minutes now, so we can reconnect it, see if it's any different. Get the battery all back together, so let's go and give it a little test drive. Here we go, let's pull over to a stop and see what happens. Nope, exactly the same, so that's not the problem. So let's go to the next stage. So for this next stage, I've got my cheapy little OBD code reader. So I'm going to plug it into the car, see if it can tell us if there's any issues. Now, to find where this plugs into, Look at this, I like this. So rather than being in some hard to reach place, look at that, if you just pull out the ashtray, it's in there. Wow, how convenient's that? So let's just whack this in. Okay, so you'll see this as I do, so let's scan. Here we go. So you can see there we've got 0 codes found. So, you know, whether they don't show up on this system here, I don't know. So for me, it's back to the internet, and I'm going to have to research, see if I can find any other things that I can check. So this issue is looking more and more like it's going to be a battery issue. So this is my last ditch attempt after some research, is to give the battery a boost charge. So I'm going to charge it up, I'm going to leave it on charge overnight, and then we're going to come back to it tomorrow and then see whether that has fixed the problem. If that hasn't fixed the problem, I think my only other fix for this would be to buy a new battery. We'll talk about that when we test this till tomorrow. So let's skip forward to tomorrow.
The next day.
Welcome to tomorrow now, and battery's been on charge now overnight for a good 12-14 hours. So what we're going to do is going to take the charger off, go give another run down the road and see what happens. Here we go, let's come to a standstill at this junction, and nope, same issue. So now I'm convinced that it's the battery, it's not the correct battery for this car, and I think the car knows that, and therefore it's just not allowing the ecosystem to work. Now, I'm not prepared to go pay 140, 150 pounds for another battery, considering what I use this car for, which is just a little run around. I'm never going to make my money back in saving on fuel costs with that. I mean, it'd be nice to have it properly working, but I think I admit defeat on this one. It's not a showstopper though, but what I'm going to do a bit of research. I'll keep it in mind, I'm going to do a bit more research. I'm going to keep looking, so if something hits me in the face and somebody says, whoa, it could be a problem with this, then I'll readdress this and I'll come back to this in probably a future video. So that's it, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more like this, and give me the thumbs up for this particular video. It all helps with the analytics. Thanks again for watching. Till next time, stay safe.